Hi guys, welcome back. So today's focus is going to be a few 1-minute holds. So just coming into a comfortable seat, relax your shoulders and place the hands on top of your thighs. So let's close our eyes and just tuning into your breath, beginning to take a deep breath in through the nose and then just take a deep exhale as you sigh it out from the mouth. So again, we'll take that breath in and a deep exhale, sigh everything out from the mouth. Let's do one more. Inhale and then exhale as you let everything go. Good. Now inhale, let's lift that right arm up to the sky. Coming into your side bend, just take it over, reaching. And then inhale as you come back through to the center, we'll take it over to the opposite side. Inhale, come back to center, gaze towards the sky. Just finding a little wiggle here from side to side. It's warming up into that side waist. Just shake it out a few times. And then place those hands on top of the thighs as we bring the chin to the chest, belly to the spine. Little cat-cow movement here. Inhale as we gaze upwards. And then exhale again. We'll bring that chin to the chest and round into the spine. Inhale, let's do it again. Look up. And exhale as we round. Inhale, come back to center. Let's reach that right arm back up to the sky for your side bend. Reaching back towards the sky, switching to the opposite side, lengthen through the side of the waist. Inhale back to center and then exhale, just finding a little forward fold over the legs, little stretch into your hips here. If you can, just melt the forehead to the floor, but think about rooting the sitting bones down into the mat. Just taking a few moments here, close the eyes, breathing in and exhaling out. Inhale, let's come back up, lengthen through that spine and gaze upwards. As you exhale, hands come back into the heart. So from here, let's find your way into your downward dog. So for your first downward dog, as always, if you need to pedal those heels a few times, just walk out your dog. And then whenever you're ready, just find some stillness or move it about a few times. So we're going to inhale into that plank position, just moving slowly over the wrists a few times and then exhale back into your downward dog. Inhale back to plank. Again, we'll just circle over the wrists clockwise and anti-clockwise and exhale, push it back. Inhale, plank. Again, let's just move and then drop the knees down onto the floor. So we're coming into a few minute holds here. So just getting ready, setting the timer. We are coming into a plank. So we're holding a plank for 1 minute. So getting ready, I want you to stack the shoulders underneath your wrists, spread out the fingers nice and wide, and then scoop your lower belly in. So think about pushing the ground away with your hands here and lengthening through the head to your spine all the way down towards those heels. Keep gazing towards the top of the mat. Make sure that head is not looking down towards your toes. Remember, we are focusing on the present moment, not the past. So keep looking forward and never back. So drawing those heels back towards the end of the mat, lengthening and also squeezing into your glutes here at the same time. So while you're in the pose, as always, we want to focus on that breath. So you are breathing in through the nose and then you're exhaling out again through the nose. This pose will always create a bit of heat in the body. So that's completely normal. Now let's drop those knees. Let's take a little child's pose just to release it off. And if you feel anything in those wrists at all, you can circle the wrists a few times. Always about listening to your own body, guys. So just let the head relax. Take a few breaths. And let's walk those hands over to the right side of the body. Stack the left hand on top of the right and just melt the forehead back towards the floor. Inhale, we walk back to center, and then we stack your right hand on top of the left. Again, we'll just melt the forehead down onto the mat. Inhale, we come back to center. Now coming onto your fingertips here, drop your forehead to the floor. And then when you're ready, we'll come back into downward facing dog. Now let's walk forward to the top of the mat. Try and keep your legs as straight as you can. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. And exhale, bring the hands through to the heart center. Step back on your right leg here. Drop your knee to the floor. Come into your low lunge. So the focus is 1 minute holds today, guys. So we are holding your low lunge for 1 minute. So while you're in the pose, think about that knee to your ankle alignment on the front leg, and the right knee is behind the hip, so you are getting a lovely stretch through the right hip flexor and into that quad. Now, if you want the option of using your blocks here, you can grab your blocks. So I only have one block here to show you, but if you have 2 blocks, position the blocks just in line with your foot, and then just hold it there if that feels better for your body, or stay on your fingertips. Now just roll around and relax those shoulders, trying to maintain some length through the spine as well. Sometimes it's nice to just close the eyes off and focus on the breath and the moment and the stretch. So deep breath in through the nose and then exhale as you sigh everything out. Take a breath in, rise those arms towards the sky, and then exhale as you plant the hands into the heart space. Hold it for a moment. Release those fingers to the floor, runner's lunge. And then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, moving through a vinyasa here. So chaturanga, through your cobra, or finding an upward facing dog. And then exhale as we push it back, downward dog. Dropping your knees to the floor. Stack the shoulders underneath your wrists. Inhale, let's find your cow pose, and exhale, round through to cat. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky. Open through the collarbone, look upwards. And exhale, chin to chest, belly to spine, rounding it through. Start to walk the hands out in front. Let's find your downward dog again. And let's walk forward, trying to keep those legs as straight as you can to the top of the mat. Inhale, rising up to standing. Exhale, hands come back into your heart center. Big step back on that left leg as you come into your low lunge. And again, we're coming into that 1 minute hold. So finding your position, just look down at your right leg, and again, check your knees above the ankle. Now, we often have a tendency to clench the toes and hold on for dear life in some of the poses. So I do want you to just check your toes here as well, and spread your toes out as wide as your toes will go, just to find some space through the feet, and make sure all 4 corners of that foot are pushed down into the floor. So using the block option again if you wish, or keep those fingertips connected to the mat. And just close off the eyes as we focus on that breath. Deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale as you sigh it out again through your nose. The breath reminds us to stay present, to keep focused on the now, and to remind us that all we can control is whatever is happening in our life at this moment today. Inhale, rise the arms up, and then exhale, bring those hands back to the heart. Plant those fingers to the floor, find your runner's lunge, gazing forward, and exhale, step back, downward dog. Inhale, that left leg shoots to the sky as you move forward through a vinyasa. Hold in your up dog for a few rounds of breath. Again, open through that collarbone, push your heart forward, and then exhale, downward dog. Dropping the knees back to the floor, stack those shoulders to the wrists. Inhale, we come back into your cow pose, and exhale, chin to chest. Now right leg goes back, left arm goes forward. We come into your bird dog, scooping the lower abs in, nice straight spine, pointing through your toes. Release, switch to the opposite side. Inhale, we lengthen and we hold it. Breathe for a moment, lengthen through that spine. And then exhale, again, release back to the mat. Just push back into a child's pose here, grabbing hold of the heels, knees together. And then finding your way back, downward facing dog. So I'm just going to move a few times from side to side here. Again, if you want that little free flow movement, please listen to your body. Let's walk forward again to the top of the mat. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Find a little back bend at the top, and then exhale, hands come into your heart. Big step back on that right leg. Bringing those fingertips to the floor, we come into your runner's lunge. So again, this is a 1 minute hold. So in your runner's lunge, spread those toes out wide, knee above your ankle. Scoop your lower belly in, shoulders roll back, lengthen through your spine, and try and maintain some length through that right leg. So you're lifting up high onto your right tip toes, and the right leg is straightening as much as your body will allow it to. Keep looking forward, just taking a breath in and an exhale out. Now, if you feel like you want to start moving a few times here, you can just start to draw some circles through those hips. Moving backwards and forwards, just to loosen off some of the fascia. And let's place that right hand down. Inhale, left arm reaches to the sky for your twist. Now just take your left arm and reach it towards the right side of the mat, stretching through that left side of your body. And then exhale, plant the hand down and step back into your dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Again, let's move through three-legged vinyasa here. Opening into your up dog, let's hold it. Exhale as you push back, downward dog. Dropping back onto those knees again, hands to the shoulders. Let's open into your shoulder stretch, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, drop the right shoulder back to the mat. Now left leg extends, left arm extends. Now actively push your right heel down into the floor. Sorry, left heel. Left heel right down into the floor. Working into that leg as well as the shoulder. Now push into the left hand and make your way back up as you open out into that shoulder stretch on the opposite side, and exhale, release. Inhale, left arm to the sky, open. Exhale, thread it through, drop the shoulder down, drop the ear down, and extend that right leg this time. And the right arm reaches up to the sky. So again, try and think about pushing your right heel into the floor. And then exhale as you release. Push it back. And then round it through as you come back into your downward facing dog. Let's just take a big step forward or jump into Malasana here and rise your way up to standing. And exhale, hands come into your heart. Walking the feet back so they are hip distance apart. Take a breath as you reach those arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come into your heart center. Big step back on that left leg. And we come into your runner's lunge on the opposite side. So holding this again for 1 minute. Now I didn't say this before, but if you feel like you would like to hold the stretch for longer than 1 minute, feel free to stop the video and hold it for maybe a couple of minutes if that feels good for you today. Or let's just stay with me and hold it here. As we did in your low lunge as well, if you do feel like you'd like to use your blocks here, the option is there to grab 2 blocks and just place them next to your foot. And again, now I'm just finding some movement in my hips and legs here, moving backwards and forwards. And if you feel like you'd like to join in with me as well, you can do that, or just hold it still. There is no right or wrong in yoga. It's just about listening to your own body. We are all so unique, so what works for me might not work for you. Let's plant that left hand down. Inhale, right arm to the sky, open into your twist. As you reach the right arm over to the left side of the mat, stretch through the right side of the waist. Plant the hand down and step back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg reaches to the sky. As you move forward through Vinyasa here, again, 3-legged plank into your upward dog. Let's open that chest. Feel the stretch through your chest, and then exhale, downward dog. Dropping back onto your knees again. So from there, we're coming into a puppy thread the needle. So right leg is lengthening. And this time we're going to lift the leg off the floor. So your left arm reaches to the side of the mat, pointing through your right toe here. So we are finding a little bit of a hip opener at the same time. And lift your leg up as high as you can and keep pointing that toe. And then we'll bring it back down to the floor. So we'll move straight onto the opposite side. Right shoulder to the mat, extending out opposite fingertips and opposite leg. And if you're ready, let's lift your leg off the floor, point through your toes and lengthen. Really think about lengthening through that leg. Still hugging in through the lower abs, and then we'll just bring that knee back to the floor and come back. Now we'll stretch into your wrists here, so turn those fingers towards the knees and just find a little rounding in that back into your cat pose. Working into those wrists so your fingers are facing the opposite way. And then just sit back into a little toe stand here, working into your calves, trying to get the heels to the floor if you can. And then we'll rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, take those hands out to the side as you move into your forward fold. Soften the knees. Melt the forehead to the knees, and then inhale halfway flat back as you gaze forward, and exhale, we'll walk it out into your side plank. Okay, so let's get ready because we are going to be holding your side plank for 1 minute. So if you need the easy option, that knee stays on the floor, and if not, let's come straight into the pose. Stack your shoulder right in line with your wrist, and your feet are stacked on top. And you're pushing the ground away with that left hand to keep those hips lifted high. Now, if you do need an easier option, you can take one foot slightly out in front of the other if you need that. Or stay with me and keep the feet stacked on top. And let's hold it for a whole minute. This is really going to target those arms, so you might feel a little bit shaky. So don't worry. If that's happening, it's all good. You're building that strength. Few options here as well, guys. If you'd like to lengthen the arm over your head, you can, and just create some space through the side of the waist. Lift those hips up high. Or if you feel like you want to gaze up towards your fingertips, you can take that option. But as we're here for 1 minute, it's just quite nice to look at the floor and save the neck a little bit. So well done. That was a minute. That didn't take too long. Let's come back into your child's pose. Just release the head to the floor. Take a moment, and again, if you need to circle your wrists, if those wrists were creating some stress there, just give them a little bit of a circle. Nice job, guys. Well done. All right, so coming into a camel pose here, let's just take your 2 fists in between those knees to get your alignment here. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. And if you can, grab hold of that right heel And just push your hips forward as you melt the chest to the sky and drop your head back. Inhale, let's reach that right arm back up to the sky. Circle it around. As you inhale, the left arm reaches up to the sky and you grab that left heel and we come into your single arm camel pose. Let's just keep pushing those hips forward. Relax the head. And then inhale, come back up, lengthen the left arm up to the sky. As you come back, sit into your child's pose, spider fingers, and just melt your forehead back towards the mat. Okay, so just find a little waggy tail here in your neutral spine. And let's come into that bird dog again. Right leg lengthens, left arm lengthens, and we'll just hold it. Now grab hold of that back foot, little tiger pose, lift and hold it just for a moment, and then we release. Take the opposite leg back, find your bird dog as we lengthen, breathing in, scoop the core in, and then again grab hold of the outside of the foot. Inhale, lift your leg up towards the sky, and then we exhale, we come back down. Well done. So coming back into your downward facing dog. Let's take a step forward with your left leg, turn your back foot, and we'll come into your warrior two. So warrior two pose, middle arch to your front heel. Inhale, rising over into side angle pose, opening through the right side of your body. Inhale back into warrior two, reversing your triangle, lengthen that left arm to the sky. And then we exhale, warrior two. So we're coming back into the theme here, guys, of 1 minute hold. So we are holding your warrior two for one minute. It's not a long time. We can do this. All right, so getting into your position, make sure your middle arch is in line with your front heel. And if your hips are tight, as I'm doing right now, just start to bend and straighten the leg a few times just to create some space in those legs so that we can hold the pose for 1 minute. Now, checking your knee is in line with your second toe on the front leg, and our goal is to keep the knee in line with the ankle as well. So working on eventually getting the thigh completely flat on the front leg. So you might not be there yet. You might need to do a few little more bends into the leg here, just to get it a little bit more open. And as always, it's about that breath. So we're breathing in through the nose and exhaling as we go a little bit deeper. Now just turning the opposite way back into your reverse triangle, gaze towards the sky. Let's open through the front of that body. And then come back, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, runner's lunge. And then step back into your downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. We're moving through your three-legged vinyasa. Opening out into your upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Dropping back onto those knees. All right, so we haven't forgotten about it. We have to do side plank on the opposite arm. Yay! We're almost there, guys. So stacking your shoulder to your wrist. Let's get ready. And as I said, if you need that easier option, bring your knee on the floor. We'll come straight into our side plank with the feet stacked on top. Lifting your hips up nice and high. And just focus on the breath. And let's not just think about that time. Time will pass. Just enjoy the moment. So keep the hips lifted. I want you to imagine that there is a fire right underneath your hips and you're trying to move your hips away from the fire so that you don't get burnt. So keep lifting the hips up. Just again, if you want to find the arm up and over the head, lengthen through the spine, or keep the arm lifted, or you can just keep the hand on top of the thigh, or just stay where you are right now and let's just hold it. A few more breaths, guys. Breathe in and exhale out. Woo! Well done, we did it. Okay, so let's just release here. Sit back into your child's pose. If those wrists were feeling it, just give them a little circle out, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And relax the head back to the floor. Nice job, guys. We're coming back into camel here, so 2 fist distance with those knees. Inhale, left arm reaches towards the sky. And then again, grab and hold of that back heel. Push your hips forward, melting that heart to the sky. Holding it for a breath. And then we come back up. Inhale, that left arm reaches back up to the sky. Circle it around. And we scoop the right arm up this time to the sky. And then melt back into that camel. Open the heart, letting go. Inhale, right arm back up to the sky, circle it around, and come back into your child's pose. Let's find our way back into downward facing dog. Now let's take a jump back into Malasana. Sit down into your Malasana squat. Inhale, rise the arms to a standing, and exhale, hands into your heart. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, and exhale, Malasana. Plant the hands down, push your weight back into dog. Step your right foot forward, and let's inhale, rise up, warrior two. So again, just getting into your setup position, middle arch to that front heel, come into side angle. Inhale, warrior two, and exhale, reverse your triangle. Gaze towards the sky. Warrior two. So again, we've got that 1 minute hold on the opposite side. It wasn't too hard the first time, was it? So setup position, middle arch to your front heel. Bending and straightening into that front leg a few times if your legs are feeling a little bit tight today. This is just going to help to loosen it off a little bit so we can hold it for that minute. Now, keeping the length in the spine, shoulders are relaxing, and working on trying to flatten out that front thigh. So basically, I want you to think about having a cup of tea, and that tea is resting on top of your thigh, ideally. That's what we're aiming for. Deep breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, you're trying to sink down a little bit lower. There we go, guys. My leg has just opened. Takes time. Inhale, let's rise back up. Reverse your triangle. Gazing up to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, runner's lunge. And then exhale back into your downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, moving through your 3-legged vinyasa here into your upward facing dog, rolling that chest open. And then exhale, downward dog. Dropping your knees to the floor here. Coming back into your child's pose for a moment. And then just bring your feet together into butterfly. So I want you to bring your feet, your heels as close towards the groin area as you can. So we're going to hold your butterfly for 1 minute. So just take your feet and open them like a book. Now, just open the legs a few times, just doing your butterfly wings here just to create a little bit more openness in those inner thighs if they're feeling a little bit tight. So just fly your wings. And then when you're ready, take a breath in to lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, we are hinging forward from the hips. Just letting, you can let the back round a little bit for your butterfly hold in this one. And if you feel like you'd like to take those elbows towards those inner thighs here, just to use them to push them down a little bit further, just take a breath in, and then as you exhale, gently draw the thighs open a little bit more. Sinking a little bit deeper through that exhale. And then inhale, we lengthen that spine, and we'll exhale, go a little bit further forward. Stay in here for a few more seconds. Now just grab hold of the thighs, bring the knees back into the chest, and just give yourself some love. Wrap yourself into a ball. And from here, we're coming into your IT band stretch. So grab hold of the outside of the left foot, and we'll just stretch and reach the leg across the right leg for a second and release. Switching the opposite side, grab hold of the foot, lengthen the leg, kick the heel away, and then when you're ready, come back to center, release, and find a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, hands come into your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up as you look up, and exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, the arms reach, gaze to the sky. Exhale, hands into your heart center. Thumbs to the forehead, bowing down. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and share with me if you completed the class on Instagram. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you in the next class.